Hi, this is Omar from DepressionHero.com, where I show you how I beat depression, and I think you can too, using the same techniques that I've learned over hundreds of hours of therapy and thousands of dollars of therapy. And today I've been surfing all day. I'm at the beach here on vacation, and I realized one thing that I want to talk to you about, and that has to do with confidence. A lot of times when I was depressed, the reason for my being depressed was because I'd lost my confidence in myself, and I felt that I was a total loser. Some things had happened. I'd lost a lot of money, I didn't have a girlfriend, or I wasn't being productive, or I felt I should be in better shape. A variety of things can happen, and did happen at different times as well. And I felt like a loser. And so I lost my confidence. And so I was thinking, well, how do I get my confidence back? Today I was surfing, and I realized that confidence comes with competence. Confidence comes with competence. So the more competent you are at something, whatever that is, the more confident you are in doing that thing. So for example, if you're very good at drawing, then you're competent at drawing, then you feel confident if somebody gives you a piece of paper and a pencil and says, hey, draw me a sketch of myself. You feel confident about doing that. But if you don't have that competence, then you don't have that confidence. So how do you get competence? Well, you get competence by doing something, practicing, having the experience and having more and more and more experience. So just by spending some time today playing with the waves and surfing, I was able to actually improve my surfing skills by actually improving my timing, actually getting a read of the waves better. And so I became more competent at body surfing. And so now I feel more confident in tackling bigger waves. So what does this have to do with depression? Well, again, when I was depressed, I didn't have confidence. If you're depressed and you don't have confidence, then there's some program in your head that keeps repeating itself. It's this negative self-talk that keeps going on, and it's a habit. It's just a habit. Why is it a habit? It's because it's a habit because it's been going on for so long, and you don't realize it because it's subconscious. Meaning it happens below your level of conscious awareness. So this conversation is happening, and you're not even aware that it's happening, and so it's habitual because it happens all the time. It's a habit. So here it is, it's automatic, it's a habit, and it happens below your radar screen, let's say. It's under the radar. It's always on conversation. And so therefore you feel that you're incompetent, and therefore you feel you have no confidence in doing a special task, including getting out of depression. What can you do about it? Well, it has to do with changing the conversation. But first you have to become confident at seeing the conversation, at listening to the conversation, at being aware that there is this conversation. The thing is, you have to just start. Like today, I got in the water and I tumbled many times. I grazed the bottom of the beach floor. I grazed my stomach here. It's all raw a little bit. But I kept going, I kept going, I kept going. And because I kept getting more experience, I became better. So the same thing with you. You have to start by listening to the conversation. Write down what that conversation is. What is that negative conversation that's happening in your brain, in your mind? This conversation with yourself, the conversation you're having with yourself where you say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because that's the conversation that you have to catch. Because a lot of times you're not aware of it. First of all, have the desire, because if you don't have the desire to change that conversation, nothing's going to change. So get the desire. Next thing is discover. That's the second step. Discover what is that conversation. Write it down. Write it down. Catch it every time. Just catch it. Catch it. Write it down. And say, and realize for example, I might say to myself, oh, I can't swim very well, so there's no point in trying. Or when I surf, this is true. When I surf, this is how I surf. I close my nostrils with my one hand and I surf like this. And I look like an absolute dork. Okay, and so if you don't have that inner confidence where you don't care, then you won't do it. I don't care. I don't care what other people think. Now I don't care. Beforehand, I really used to care what other people think. And there's still situations where I do care what other people think. So this is what I do. And this is how I surf. But I became more competent at it. So what you have to do is find that conversation, become aware of it, write it down, and then start to talk back to that conversation. Talk back to your mind and say, when your mind says, oh, I can't dance well, or I can't surf, or I can't swim well, or I'll never be able to do this or that, you change the conversation. You say, yes, I can do that. What makes you think I can't? Of course I can, because I'm competent in other things. So write down what else you're competent in, what else are you competent in, and draw on that, because you're competent in one area means you can be competent in another area. Because you're confident in one area means you're confident in another area. You're probably a confident driver, but when you first learn to drive and you got on the highway and you have these huge trucks and semis going right around you, you're probably a little bit anxious and nervous. Draw on the fact that you have confidence and competence in other areas, and draw on that energy to pull it into other areas where you don't have it yet. And realize that the yet part comes from experience. That's it. It's just a question of doing it now. Doing something different. Desire, discover, do. It's a very simple formula, and you can do it. Why can you do it? Because I did it. And I'm not really very different from you. I have a different accent from you. I look different. I don't have hair. But we're basically the same, you know. We both have brains, we both have arms, we both have the same bodily structure. And you can do it. It's just a question of becoming confident in doing it. Now I can catch my own inner conversations. It takes me less time. Sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes, sometimes it takes an hour before I realize, oh my God, I've been in this whole negative spiral for an hour. And then I get out of it. But now I'm much faster at it. And that's the trick, to become faster and better. And that comes with experience. So that's what you have to do. Become aware of your inner conversation, write it down, and then turn it around. And that's it. So if you want to hear or see more videos like this, where I give you tips about how I beat depression, go to DepressionHero.com, leave your name and email, and I'll send you more videos. And that's it. So let me know what you think, let me know what results you get, let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.